Hi Aries, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for Sunday the 17th to Saturday the 23rd. We have a big week coming up. I'm going to do as I normally do. I'm going to separate out career/money. That could have to do with any area of money in your life, not only from your career, as well as love. I'll pull a spread for you and a person that you're dealing with. I timestamp below. I always recommend that you never just watch for your sun sign. Always at least check out at least your rising sign if you do know your rising sign, moon sign, and Venus as well to get the fullest message. I'm going to start off discussing a little bit of astrology as I pull your opening cards, Aries. So we know this is a big week, right? I mean, those of us who have been following, a lot of tarot readers talk about the astrology as well. But if anybody out there knows the astrology, this is a big week having to do with the Uranus-Mars conjunction going exact. The thing is that they're going exact. That's the part. And the 19th into the 20th. And, it's the inauguration here in the U.S., so definitely something that we need to consider right now, right? Going on in our lives. We have a lot to think about as far as change goes. For you guys, it's going to be happening in your second house on a personal level, which is money and anything that you value, right? Taurus is that landlord of things that we value. And so, which is Taurus happens to be the landlord of the second house. But Uranus and Mars are going conjunct in Taurus at the same time. Now, the thing is, why this is so tricky is because Black Moon Lilith is involved as well. So what does that mean? Uranus is all about transformational change, right? Mars is about a fresh path, a new perspective. It's a game-changing energy. Black Moon Lilith is that thing that we all have in our chart, that thing that we don't like to look at, right? We all have a shadow side. So the Black Moon Lilith is going to be working with this. And so I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it. It's just going to be, there are going to be very substantial aggressive behaviors going on in the middle of this week. However, I don't want to focus on that because I really do think like thoughts become things, and I'm a very big believer in that. So better to understand that Taurus is an amazing energy as far as focusing on value. So there's going to be big changes in things having to do with your second house, Aries, which is really good. Now, I want you to keep in mind at the same time, though, we have Chiron is going to be in your 12th house of the subconscious. Chiron's all about healing, right? Things that we need to heal. Beautiful. And things that we need to heal, things that we really need to look at. I'm going to interpret all of these for you, don't worry, as we go along. But what I like about this is that Chiron in your 12th house is going to be trining the nodal axis. So lots of karmic healing at play here, guys. Lots of karmic healing. I like this for you. Now, the nodal axis that it's going to be impacting for you are your 3rd and 9th house. So 3rd house has to do with communication and learning. 9th house has to do with your belief system, long distance travel, dealing with foreign lands, foreign cultures, also lawsuits, right? So there can be this, this is the axis of like lawsuits, legalities thing going on. And so if you guys have any sort of like lawsuits going on, we're going to discuss that when we get into this money section. There's this trine going on, which I quite like, right? I like this a lot, as there's healing at play here. And also you have Venus for you guys is going to be in the 10th house of career. So it's career, it's also public reputation and your standing in the world. So now Venus is going to be doing a couple of things, though. Venus is going to be with Pluto in Capricorn in that 10th house. Now, they're going to go conjunct on Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, for the rest of the week, they're going to be conjunct. What does that mean? There's going to be changes having to do with anything Venusian, having to do with that 10th house. So for some of you, it can be changes in your marriage. For others of you, it can be changes in your career. But whatever's transforming is necessary. So some of you are going to be going through super positive changes, and others of you may be a little more challenging. It absolutely depends on your personal natal chart. You have to understand that. So I can give you the weather of the general, right, of what's going on sort of like in the world, but how it's going to be triggering your personal chart, I don't know your chart. So that would be something to think about, but just expect things to go on for you in that 10th house for you as well. We also have the Pluto conjunct Sun in Capricorn, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, that's going to be happening in your 10th house. So big change, like focus on change. Lots of focus on change here as well. You know, so that's happening in your 10th house as well. Let me just pull one more. Okay. So we have two ending cards bookending each other. It's part of the general messages for the week. So let's see what we have. One more. Okay. Lots of focus on like career and goals. I feel like as the week progresses through, right? It's kind of like that, from careers into goals this week. Now, it could also have to do with if something is going on with your marriage, and then where do you see yourself going at that point as well. All right, lots of problem solving. So I like this. We got Virgo. So Virgo is very, very much a problem-solving energy. It's the 6th house of health, mental, physical, emotional. It also rules your day-to-day work environment as well as your small pets. But the thing is with Virgo, I mean that, you know, the main thing is, what do you do on a day-to-day? What do? We work, right? So it rules your work environment, where you work, who you work with and for, and how you work. It also has to do with your physical health, mental, emotional. So, but Virgo is the landlord of the 6th house, which is the house of problems, which is why Virgo is the hermit energy, right? The hermit, what does the hermit do? The hermit goes up to the mountaintop in order to solve problems, right? That's his whole jam. So we have here, discover your life purpose, Aries. Very nice. Discovering, if you guys could see that, discovering your life purpose means really getting in touch with what are you doing because you have to do it, and what is it that you really want to be doing. And I think this is very important because, you know, Pluto conjunct the sun in that 10th house is going to be a lot of focus on your career, and then it's dropping into your 11th house, which has to do with the house of gains and goals. So I feel like a lot of you guys are really getting in touch with something that really significantly matters to you. Absolutely matters to you. Where do you belong in relationship? Where do you belong in your career? What is it that you're meant to do? Now we have an unfinished symphony here. So I would say that having to do with either, this could have to do with a relationship, this could have to do with a job. There's something that has come to a point where you feel like you're at a crossroads and you're not sure which path to take. So, but this is to let you know that it's not done. Whatever it is, it's not done. You just may need to re-strategize. Because going over to the Lenormand, we have the Skaith. And the Skaith is all about cutting something out. What do you have to cut out? Some of you are cutting out, we have the unfinished symphony here, right? So something's unfinished. But we do have the cutting out of a commitment. Dealing with some challenge. Let me interpret it as this first. But the challenge is going to be gone through. And then we have the coffin, which is about a necessary ending in order for there to be a new beginning. Because this is, in Lenormand, the coffin, the idea is rebirth, right? What happens when we die? We're born into the other side, right? Our physical body as we know it dies now, but then we're reborn, right? In another space, right? So to speak. So it does look like something's being cut out. So we could definitely see this having to do with something being ended in a relationship to be transformed. For some of you, it's you that's transforming yourself. But there's this idea of unfinished symphony. So you're going to have to connect that to the situation as you see fit. Now, as the astro dice indicate, we have Uranus. I mean, it's all about Uranus, I just feel like right now. It's, you know, Uranus is all about the future. It's a lot of things. It's technology, it's science, it's all of that. But Uranus is about transformational change. And oh my goodness, will you look at this? We got it with Taurus for you, Aries. Can you? Really? I mean, that's amazing, right? Because that's exactly what we have, this conjunction with Mars in. So there's going to be changes going on having to do with your value system. Now, this could have to do with money, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about a particular situation, right? The roof over your head, the food you put in your mouth, what matters to you. There's going to be change. And I feel like that change, there's going to be change in how you communicate it as well, which I'm not surprised to get this, right? Because the axis, the north and south node axis is going to be hitting you on your ninth and 3rd house. So it's the Sagittarius and Gemini nodal axis. So there's going to be a lot of redressing as far as how you communicate things that matter to you, things that you value. And I feel like you're going to be in this space of problem solving through this communication at this time. Okay, so I feel like this is going to apply to relationship as well as career, but I like it as kind of like a lay of the land, an initial lay of the land. I think that's very, very positive for you. Now we're going to get into career. So let's see what we have for the situation, the possible block or fear, some advice, and then an outcome. Let's pull these away. And then I'll pull clarifiers, obviously, for those. Okay, so we have the situation, possible block or fear, some advice, and the outcome. I like it. Let's pull some. Okay. I feel like a lot of you are waiting on something though when it comes to money. So again, the money could have to do from, you know, the career that you have, or you know, waiting for an investment, waiting for an insurance payout, waiting for some sort of settlement, inheritance, having to do with retirement, anything like that. So we have this situation right now. We have the Hierophant energy. So the Hierophant is one of the marriage cards, right? But when we're looking at it, you know, from a more holistic standpoint as far as career, this is about conventions, expectations, conformity. Now, some of you also may be dealing with some sort of trying to negotiate something having to do with a divorce, or if you know, if you're in talks of that. And this could be a marriage divorce. This could be the breakup of a business partnership, you know, some sort of settlement, anything like that. Okay, so we have working with that as the sun, which is great. And this is great. It's about material happiness, a really good outcome. You have everything that you need in order to make something successful. And what I literally mean is, like, you have the tools in your toolbox to negotiate effectively, to do your work very effectively, to stay very focused. You know, even with the Uranus and Mars conjunct in Taurus, yeah, could it be a little stressful, a lot stressful? Yeah, but you know, I just feel like for you guys, because you have this Venus and Pluto energy in Capricorn. See, in Capricorn rules work. You know, it's the landlord of the 10th house, which is all about work. So I feel like while there's change, it's there, it's hanging out there with Pluto in Capricorn. I just feel like there's a lot of good stuff that's shifting for you. Oh, and a lot of you, we got the Fool. I like this. This is a Uranus energy. So beautiful. I mean, again, with the Uranus, fresh hope, taking chances, going on a new path, a new adventure, new beginning, at least planting the seed here. Lots of seeds are going to get planted. And again, this is only for a week, but this is such a big week karmically and energetically that's going to be really just starting this next phase, right? It really is. It's just kind of starting this next phase, right? The sun is moving into Aquarius. So we have a lot going on this week, and I feel like it's going to be very beneficial for your career. We'll see what goes on with relationship. We have the Page of Swords working here. I like this too. Page of Swords is the truth coming out about something. You know, Swords is also ideas. It's a mental space. Page indicates a new cycle. So looking at what either your possible block or fear is the 10 of Pentacles. So look, I mean, you know, honestly, for those of you in a marriage situation where there's a dissolution of a marriage, of course, this is going to be a challenge for you, because the 10 of Pentacles is the card of maturity. It's a card of family too, you know, I mean, you know, it just is. But this is a Mercury and Virgo energy. So there's Mercury's all about there's communication going on here, right? I mean, Mercury is all about the mental, communicating. It rules Gemini and Virgo. Lots of communication. What is Virgo? As I mentioned before, problem solving, right? So you may be in a situation where you're dealing with a circumstance regarding money where you're having a hard time either coming up with a final answer, a final negotiation. You can feel a solution, but you're having a hard time seeing the solution to a particular problem. Yeah, because we have the Ace of Swords is also an additional block for you right now. The Ace of Swords is about mental clarity and having this new idea. So you're having a hard time looking at something differently that has to do with this. Now, again, the Ten of Pentacles has to do with the maturation of a process. So it could have to do with your block might be seeing a way to grow your business, seeing a way to settle something having to do with this money situation. It's gone to a certain point, but now it's time to problem solve because it's a 10, right? But the challenge here is trusting your intuition, right? Because when we have the High Priestess in a block or any sort of challenge position, the High Priestess is all about trusting our intuition and getting in touch with our feelings because it's a moon energy as well, right? So this is you're having a hard time figuring out a particular problem. But I feel like the block here, part of the block, since part of the block is the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is waiting for the results on something. It's less that you can't figure something out and more that you're waiting for the results on something, whether it's the thumbs up on a project, the approval for a loan, that you got that job, whatever it is, you may be waiting in on that. So, and right now you can't see past that right now for the moment, but you're very focused, on the future, on your truth, on doing what you have to do. Energetically, it looks like you're in a good spot. It seems like you are needing to wait for something to come in. So what's the advice? Stay in the mental. Excuse me. Don't allow your emotions to rule the show. Because that's what King of Swords is all about, being very strategic and very intentional in how you're handling something. All right, you know what? The Five of Swords and the advice. Listen, sometimes it is what it is. Five is about conflict, Swords is truth, right? So, I mean, this can definitely be a little bit of... I don't want to say abusive because that sounds so negative, and this is really not always like such a negative energy. It's not. It's definitely an argument about the truth of the matter. And the question is it going to be any different in the future or how can it be different, and really trying to rectify this idea of the future, right? The reason I'm saying future is because the Five of Swords in astrology is a Venus in Aquarius energy. So Venus has to do with money, how you feel about being in something. And it also has to do with what you love to do. So you may be in this, this could definitely happen internally as well, where you may be fighting with yourself about how you need something to roll out, right? But the advice here is have that argument with yourself, because you need that tension sometimes to level something up. So whether you're arguing with yourself or you're arguing with somebody else, this typically does indicate arguing with somebody else. And it really is about recognizing that you may not win that you may not win the battle, but you can still win the war, as they say. So you can't control 100% of what's going on right now, but you can have the conversation, have the argument, have the air clearing, whatever it is, wherever the tension is, and walk away with grace, understanding that wherever the tension is, that needs to fall away anyway, because it's just not meant to go into the future with you. So the advice here too is focus on what it is that you really, really want, and stay very, very laser focused on that, because Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. This is abundance, right? I mean, wish that into manifestation, seriously. As I said before, thoughts become things, right? And we have this working with the Four of Cups. So the advice here, Four of Cups is an interesting card to get for advice, because the Four of Cups is about being very apathetic and feeling unfulfilled. So you need to look at this. You need to look at where you feel fulfilled and where you feel unfulfilled regarding some sort of financial situation, or whether it's your career, whatever it is that you're doing for money having to do with this current situation. But the thing is, with the Four of Cups, you have to look at things a little more deeply, because you can potentially be in the space of saying, okay, wait, it's not working because I get overlooked, or I get, you know, they're mean, or they're being unreasonable, it's the checklist card of a lot of finger pointing. And this, I'm not throwing shade, Aries, I'm just saying, like, that is literally what the Four of Cups means. It's a little bit of an immature card, but the advice with it is always look at the bigger picture. Look at whatever is going on. What is your role in it? And how might you be able to get underneath it or behind it to change it? What might you need to look at within yourself? So it's about recognizing where you might be putting a lot of weight on somebody else's actions, a lot of weight on giving too much power to somebody, and really looking at where you could maybe make some adjustments, some changes, and what needs to be done, right? Really good piece of advice there, I think, from the cards. Now, as far as the outcome, I love this. We get the Ace of Wands, which is a new project, new urge to create, new inspiration. So, but it's Two of Swords. Two of Swords indicates that you're going to have to make a decision. It's a time to compromise. So you may possibly an offer coming in or some sort of opportunity, something happening here where you're going to be in the space where you're going to need to decide. Ace of Cups, very nice. I like it. So this can be, you know, anything new that speaks to your heart space. Anything that you love to do. Ace is new. Cups are emotions. It's your heart space. It's something that you're going to feel you know, very passionate about. But Ace is brand new. Now look at this, Knight of Swords. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, I'm kind of going back to this Five of Swords here as well. This necessary air clearing, whatever the heck's going on there. Because the Knight of Swords is about somebody very assertively discussing their take on the truth of a situation, whether it's you or somebody else. But whatever this aggressive, assertive kind of conversation is going to be going on, it's going to be going on this week, man, let me tell you, because energies are going to be very high. You know, it's not the end of the world, but this does incite a lifestyle change. So there's going to be a change in dynamic of something. So we have two aces here, and the need to make a decision. So we have definitely something new is coming in that you're going to have to decide. But this, it does incite some sort of change having to do with maybe you're going to decide to leave a job or take on a job or change the way something is being handled. This could be something coming to some sort of culmination as well, something very karmically culminating right now. I'm saying that because you of the nodal energies on that third house, ninth house axis, final papers being signed, things like that. So something's sort of changing. You're feeling the change happening after this. So that's what we have for career for you guys, Aries. I hope that was helpful in some way. Challenging week. Hang in there, guys, if you're not hanging around for the relationship part. But those of you who are here for relationship, let's get going on relationship. So let's start with you guys, Aries. Okay. All right. So we're going to do a situation, possible outcome, advice, possible block rather, advice, and then outcome. Let's get the crowning energies first. Okay. Alrighty, so let's see what we have here. So, is the situation right now? I see you confused. We get the Seven of Cups here. Seven of Cups is, first of all, having choices and feeling rather confused. Too many choices. Commitment issues. Commitment issues. You know, the Seven of Cups energy is a Venus and Scorpio energy, right? So Scorpio, being the modern ruler of Pluto, is about changes, transformation, as an ending and beginning. So, and Venus, you know, because this is a relationship read having to do with love, something needs to be transformed. Something either needs to be ended so that you could get into something else. So that could have to do with the choices, or something needs to be transformed here. This is working with the Four of Cups. You guys just got this in the in the money section as well. Now, again, this is feeling very unfulfilled, feeling very apathetic about a situation, feeling very like pointing a finger, though. There's a lot of finger pointing here, and you may be very justified in pointing a finger. I'm not suggesting that you're not, but there is this kind of like, I always call this the checklist card. I can't be with them because of this, this, and this, and they do that, and that, and because of that, it just doesn't make sense anymore. That kind of thing, right? But you always want to. The advice with this is always, they may be doing everything wrong, but you also have to look at your part in it. I mean, that's always the advice with this card, always, because there's something else at play here. It's the kind of energy that brings on the feeling, am I ever going to meet anybody that I really feel like I could just be peaceful with? That kind of thing. It's like you can and you will, but you need to look at where you might be either getting in your own way, sabotaging something, what you allow, what you don't allow, all of that, right? Looking at yourself. And I'm not saying, this is not like, hey, beat yourself up kind of thing, because that's ridiculous, right? Because you could even be saying, I did everything right, truly, in this relationship. I was mindful, I was communicative, I was loving, I was all of those things. Well, then maybe the answer to that is, why are you with an energy that maybe isn't that way for you? Or maybe you are with somebody who's like that, and maybe you need to look at that a little deeper, because usually the Four of Cups energy brings up this idea of we have unhealed stuff in us, and it rises to the surface, and it ends up showing up in our relationships. So you have to look at how that can play out for you. We have the Princess of Swords, so some sort of truth is coming out here. Princess is indicative of a new cycle. Swords are truth and communication. We have this working with the Queen of Swords. There's a lot of truth being served up, right? This is about total honesty. This is also about being very self-sufficient. So some of you, if you're going through some sort of challenge in a relationship, you're in the space right now of just focusing on the truth of the matter, focusing on taking care of yourself, being very self-sufficient and doing you. There's some sort of truth that does seem like those of you who are resonating with this, and obviously not all Aries are going to resonate with it. It's important to understand that, so check your other signs, because this is always very specific here. That Four of Cups energy, some of you may be realizing that, you're dealing with somebody who has commitment issues, or that you have commitment issues. And that is the truth of the matter. See how the way I'm feeling this energetically is some of you may be in a space, in a relationship where you feel like it's not working. And it's very easy to say it's not working because of them. But at the end of the day, you need to be really honest with yourself. Is it actually something that you even really, really want? You have to be very honest with yourself here, as there might be something working on a subconscious level that might be blocking the relationship from being a different way. Not saying that it's your fault. I'm saying that, you might have a commitment issue that's sort of lingering underneath the surface that you might not even realize, right away. So we have this working with a possible block here. So the possible block here is that you're in a mode of self-protection. Yeah. So I feel like if those of you who are feeling a possible commitment issue, you may be, and that doesn't mean that you're aloof and that you don't want to get involved. Often it just means that there's a fear lingering somewhere, and it's that part of you that you're a little scared to completely give over and open up because you don't want to get hurt. I mean, a lot of you are just really very much protecting yourself with the Four of Coins energy. That could be a block. Nine of Cups. That mode of self-protection is blocking your wishes from coming true. I mean, the Nine of Cups is exactly that. It's wishes coming true. It's material abundance. It's a healthy relationship. That's the Nine of Cups. And we have the Star. Yeah, so the Star is an Aquarius energy. It's about renewal, hope, inner clarity, really sort of having faith in the process of something, having faith in relationship. But this is your energetic block right now, it does seem like. And we have the Queen of Wands. This is a feisty energy, very confident, very self-assured. So for some of you, you may be struggling a little bit with your self-esteem this week. I do see that. Feeling really good about yourself, feeling really good about choices that you've made, feeling really good about all of that. Others of you, part of the block could be the Queen of Wands energy, can be a little bit of a player mentality. So I do want to give you a couple of these interpretations. So some of you may be really wanting a relationship, but you feel like this commitment issue. I mean, it's this internal battle that you're having where it's like, I want a relationship, but because I'm really not finding anything, I don't know, I just feel like I need to keep playing the field. Others of you are going to be in the space where you really want this relationship with this particular individual, but they're the ones who are a little flirty, and they're the ones who are a little harder to kind of pin down, but you know what I'm saying, like, keep on the straight and narrow in a relationship. Now the advice, 10 of Swords, complete and painful ending, hitting the rock bottom with something. So what is the advice here for this, right? You're like, gee, what kind of advice is that? Well, 10 of Swords is a Mercury and Virgo energy, right? I mean, we have this Mercury and Virgo with this energy of discussion and problem solving. Right? It doesn't even make sense anymore. Like the way it's been up to this point doesn't even make sense anymore. So there's got to be this end of a cycle. It's one sword at a time, over time, in the back. So what has to happen? Mercury is all about the mental. It's about communicating. Virgo, it's about problem solving. It's about you sitting yourself down and saying, is this even worth it? Is this worth it? It's still a minor arcana, guys. This isn't a forever kind of thing. But whatever cycle's been going on, this is like, it's got to end. Either the relationship has to end, the way something's been handled has to end. There's something within this dynamic that has to end. Yes, I love it. I love that the Fool is coming after the 10 of Swords, because some of you are like, I'm ending that relationship and I am getting on a whole new path. I'm going to completely start over with someone new, or maybe even just by yourself. You're really not going to want to, yeah. Okay. I mean, a lot of you are going to be meeting somebody new. Others of you are just going to be focusing on your work. But this energy is about fresh hope, taking chances, going on a new path, having a new beginning. So for some of you, because it's ridiculous to say that all Aries are going to be, ending relationships. But for a lot of you, you might be ending a very unhealthy cycle in a relationship and like wiping the slate clean, really, and going on in a totally different just a great resolve to go on in a different direction within your relationship or alone, right? However it's going to resonate with you. But I do want to say that the 10 of Swords and the Fool, they can happen just by a simple conversation. Guys, I'm talking like, there's got to be like some therapy involved here. There's got, couples counseling. There's got to, because it's like fresh slate, total new resolve. That's not easy. That's not easy. And we have this working with the Knight of Coins as another advice energy. I like this. The Knight of Coins is very reliable, a very patient, really, really hardworking. It's Leo and Virgo. So Leo is all about love, romance, falling in love. Virgo is about problem solving, right? And it's about the mental, physical, and emotional health of you, of the relationship as well. So for those of you who are doing some work on your relationship, I really love the Knight of Coins because there's problem solving mixed with love, and it's patience and hard work, which is really quite beautiful. And then finishing that understanding up, we have the Ace of Coins here, which is, when we're talking about relationship, mental, physical, emotional connection, this is like brand spanking new start. There's got to be like brand new here. For those of you who are working with somebody who's not on that page with you, Aries, I have to be honest with you, the advice here is to move on. Release that negativity, get on that new path. You are going to be meeting somebody new, brand new. Others of you are going to be ending something and you're going to be realizing that you want to just focus on your money right now as well. Because Ace of Coins, Ace of Coins can absolutely mean a new job, a raise, a promotion, some sort of new something having to do with money, but it can also be a brand new mental, physical, or emotional connection, somebody that you're connecting with. you know, right now. And the fact that we have the Fool here, Fool is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is technology. So you might be meeting somebody online. Right, and it can be very karmically driven because the nodal axes are going to be impacting your 3rd and 9th house, which has 3rd house has to do with how you communicate with people online. So that's how it's going to be for some of you. Now we have the outcome is the Strength energy. So that's beautiful. Falling in love, romance. This is Leo. Leo's that 5th house energy, falling in love, romance, connecting with a partner on a Monday through Sunday. Beautiful. Has to do with children, creativity. Ooh, looky. 9 of Cups, that Knight of Cups. This is Prince Charming, Princess Charming coming in and proposing something. So I'm getting like new offer here. I don't know. But then we have the Devil energy. Very interesting. Very interesting. Because then we have the 6 of Wands, which is all about success. Some sort of positive news coming in. I want to jump forward to this. Some really good news coming in where somebody's going to be recognizing you, really showing appreciation, you know, accolades towards you. Really, really good. So we have these 3 amazing cards, and then we have the Devil. And the Devil's not necessarily a horrible energy, but you need to look at it. This is something you need to look at. And what is the Devil, right? I mean, this is the thing. The Devil is Capricorn energy. Some of you might be dealing with Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, right? Saturn, Saturn's very challenging in that Saturn's all about rules and restrictions and no, don't do that. So it's a shackling energy, right? So when we look at the Devil energy, we have to understand it as a shackling energy. So whatever that means. So for some, it's going to represent addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession, sexual lust, anything that could create imbalance and a shackling within a person that gets in the way of a relationship. That's the Devil energy. So, it's not, the reason why I want to say that is it doesn't mean right away that this new person that you're going to be meeting has a drinking problem, or they're a player, or they're aggressive, or there could be many, many ways that people can be imbalanced in a relationship. And because it's the outcome, you might feel the imbalance. And the imbalance could absolutely be this obsessive kind of lust, because this is a very hot energy that you're meeting, and it might make you feel quite off balance. For those of you who are meeting somebody new, you know, that kind of energy, right? Where you get very caught up in the newness of it and you like forget about life. Which, you know what, hey, go with that for a minute. But anyway, so that's where I see you guys are at right now. So let's see whatever energy you're going to be working with. Let's see. What do I want to use? Let's use this one here. Okay, let's see where they're at. Okay. Okay. Okay, so right now, the person that you're dealing with is in a space of ego, battle of the wills. Battle of the wills, Saturn and Leo. I mean, that's what this is, rivalry, challenges, it's ego, very stuck in the ego. And then there's this walking away. I mean, 8 of Cups is this withdrawal, retreating, moving on, abandoning a situation. And then we have the Magician. The Magician is being very focused, trying to turn what they want and see in their mind's eye into reality. But the Magician is a Mercury energy, which rules Gemini and Virgo. So it's communication to problem solve. You know, some of them might be, you know, online, maybe if they ended a relationship with you, they're trying to make something happen for themselves online. It could definitely indicate that. And then we have this working with the Page of Pentacles, Page of Coins. You know, the Page is always a new cycle. The Pentacle has to do with mental, physical, emotional connection or money. So some of them might be just like in a bad space within the relationship, and they're focusing on their money, right? Maybe they got a new job. That could certainly be it. For others, it does indicate them trying to maybe meet somebody brand new online here. You're going to know how it resonates for, your person, right? Now we have the possible block. So we have the Four of Cups in the reverse for this person. So this is a new outlook and a direction and a new option is a challenge for them though. So they're having a really hard time seeing things differently. They're very sort of stuck in their way. I feel like you're dealing with somebody who, because we got the Five of Wands and we have that, this is somebody who's very dug into their own belief system and the way things should be done. Another block is the Three of Coins, which is a challenge in the ability to be part of a team, to build something together, to collaborate in relationship. So it does seem like they're very focused on themselves. We have the Four of Swords as a challenge for them right now. So they're feeling very restless. They're feeling very, very restless where, if this was not a challenge energy, it would be about, retreating and healing from something. But there's restlessness, anxiety. They want to just act on something. So, for example, if you guys are in a challenging situation within your relationship, I'm feeling a lot of you are dealing with somebody who just wants to feel better. So they're going to go online and they're going to try to meet somebody new. Something, but it's so insincere because they can't see they can't see their stuff. Look, and this is another block. The Sun is their block. They're blocked being able. So this is all about. Many of them are going to be feeling depressed. Delayed gratification. Not feeling happy. Because if the Sun is in their block, they're having a hard time feeling happy. They're trying to fill their basket with something else. If you guys are in a situation where things are not good. Now, that's not to say that they are running out. Maybe they are burying themselves in work. They're just not happy. Burying themselves in other things, but they're just not happy right now with whatever's going on. Now, the advice here, we have the Six of Coins in the reverse. The Six of Coins in reverse is about debt and selfishness and struggling. Right? But it's very interesting. Okay, I see what, right? Because that's working with the Moon energy, which is about emotions, okay? So this is the deal. The advice here is the person that you're dealing with, they have to focus on not being so selfish. This is something that they need to look at. Now, this could have to do with... maybe they're just so unbelievably worried about money that it's becoming a problem. Could certainly be that, right? But the Six of Pentacles has to do with generosity, giving and receiving. And the Moon is emotions, right? The Moon is emotions. And then we have this working with the Ten of Cups in the reverse. This is about family trouble, a broken marriage, right? So, but the advice here is to look at where they are selfish, to look at the idea that the marriage is broken, and to look at this Ten of Coins energy, which is about this idea of bringing something to a deeper level. Ten of Coins is about maturity. It's a family energy. It is a will you marry me card. It is a let's communicate more deeply. Let's bring this to the next space. Let's create a legacy together. Let's have children. Let's buy that house. It's that. That's the advice here that they would need to really be able to look at with you and work on with you. But it looks like there's a challenge there. We have the outcome energy. We have the Knight of Coins to start. Reliable energy, patient, hardworking. Got to put the hard work in. But we have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, too many choices, commitment issues. Commitment issues. Dishonesty. Betrayal. Running away from something. Not looking at something. Not looking at something. So they may be just focusing on their work, not wanting to commit, giving you some lip service. We have Faith. Faith is a marriage card. But we have this working with the dishonesty. So I have to tell you here, I see a commitment issue and dishonesty having to do with this commitment. Having to do with the commitment. They're not willing to look at this stuff right now, Aries. This doesn't seem like it. Right now, for the 17th to the 23rd is what I'm getting here. So, you know, it does seem like you guys are going to have to look at that. But let's see. Let me just pull where are my Island Time Wellness here? Some energies on this connection, please. Karmic relationship, Axe, Phoenix, Mirror. Karmic relationship, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go and loving you. Then we have the Axe, breakup, separation, stopping the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. Then we have the Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, transform, growth, change. Mirror, mirroring each other's self-image. Relationship reflects our wounds, introspection. That mirror energy is very, those of you who know astrology, it's very first house, seventh house. So we always look at our seventh house to see what our partner's energy should be, like according to what we on a soul level want. Whatever sign is on there, our partner should have that sun, moon, rising, or Venus energy, and it is a mirroring energy. It's like how we show up in relationship. That's what our soul wants. It's like the house of mirror, that seventh house of relationship. We have soulmate, clarifying, karmic. A message for you. I'm thinking of you at this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. That's coming with the breakup and separation. Then we have the Phoenix, new phase, rekindling, transforming, playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together and remember that love is the greatest healer. Then we have Mirror, reflection. Wow. I mean, come on. How crazy is that? We got Mirror with reflection. Wow. So reflection, give each other some space at the moment, trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. Yeah, because it does seem like, I feel like this almost very rivalrous energy in this connection. Who does more of what? Who feels like they're carrying more of what? You know, that kind of thing. And you're both probably right in your own way, you know, but so it's a matter of needing to understand if, you know, this is to work out. But I do see a lot of you guys going in a different direction. So if this is where they're at, you know, they're not being honest, you're opening yourself up to somebody, maybe that's just where you guys need to be at right now. I don't know your personal chart, but it does indicate that you guys are experiencing some sort of break right now, or very weird space. But it does indicate that there's going to be a revisiting of this. So the energy will be there. You don't want to join in, sit it out, right? If this person's really unhealthy, you don't have to jump in. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. You guys take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.